I welcome you all in this lecture on functional analysis. We will be studying three topics in functional analysis. The first topic is Banach spaces. Second topic is Hilbert spaces. Third topic is finite dimensional spectral theory. This is second level course and it requires some preliminary knowledge of other courses. The required textbook for our course is Introduction to Topology and Modern Analysis by G.F. Simmons. The author of this textbook is G.F. Simmons. As I mentioned, this is second level course and it needs preliminary knowledge of some courses. These courses are linear algebra, second course is topology or analysis, and especially you will need the knowledge of metric spaces. All these courses we have studied in first year. We will have to revise some concepts from these courses before we proceed. So this revision part is available in the notes which I am providing to you, which you can download from app. So first we will begin with structures in mathematics. What is mathematics? Mathematics is a study of sets with structures, and there are three structures. First structure is algebraic structure, second structure is topological structure, and third structure is ordered structure. I repeat, mathematics is study of sets with structures. There are three structures. First structure is algebraic structure. Second structure is topological structure, and third structure is ordered structure. What forms foundation for mathematics is logic. This is building of mathematics, and the foundation for mathematics is logic. An ideal course on foundations of mathematics will cover these three topics in the order: logic, set theory, and number system. I will not go in much details, but it is important to note the structure of mathematics, modern mathematics. Any theories in modern mathematics are of axiomatic type, where some axioms are there and based on axioms theories are developed. So these are three basic structures, and using these three basic structures all branches are developed of mathematics. So we'll see in the scenario of mathematical structures, where is the Banach space, where is the Hilbert space, where is so we'll first have a look at basic structures in mathematics, in modern mathematics which we are studying. First we will see structures in linear algebra, or let me say abstract algebra. So structures in algebra, then we will have structure in analysis, and after that point we will define functional. We will see what is functional analysis and where does the Banach spaces stand in the scenario of the structures. So structures from algebra. I am not including all structures, group, then ring, then field, vector spaces or linear spaces, vector spaces or linear spaces, then inner product spaces. As I mentioned, I am not including all structures, but the basic structures which are required that I am covering: inner product spaces and norm-linear spaces. So these are structures from algebra. Then we will see one structure, let us say from analysis or topology. It is metric space. Metric space from analysis or topology. And we have structures from algebra. There is one relation between norm-linear space and metric space. The relation is every norm-linear space is metric space, and this is very important relation. It acts as a connecting bridge between this one structure, norm-linear space from algebra, and one structure, metric space, from analysis and topology. So by virtue of this relation, we can have hybrid structures, and this is where the functional analysis begins. In functional analysis, we will be studying hybrid structures, structures which are algebraic as well as which has topological properties, and Banach space is one such a structure. What is Banach space? At this point, I can define Banach space. It is complete norm linear space. What is Banach space? It is complete normed linear space. So see, it is complete. Complete means it is complete metric space. So Banach space you can visualize or think of as combination of two structures. First of all, it is non-linear space, and secondly, it is complete metric space. So remember Banach space as non-linear space and complete metric space. In a single sentence, you can say that Banach space is complete non-linear space, complete metric space. This is the definition of Banach space, complete non-linear space. Let us prove this relation that every non-linear space is metric space. You have to revise the concepts before we define Banach spaces, and as I mentioned, you will have to revise the concepts from the notes which I am providing to you. So let us prove that every non-linear space is metric space. Every non-linear space is metric space. What is non-linear space? It is a structure of the form n, set n equipped with norm. You can think it as ordered pair n norm. The norm is function from n to r satisfying three properties. Which are three properties? First property, every element has non-negative norm. Every element or every vector in the set n. Second property is norm of alpha x is equal to mod alpha norm x. Third property is norm x is equal to 0 if and only if x is equal to 0. And fourth property is triangle inequality. Norm of x plus y is less equal to norm of x plus norm of y. This is fourth property. So we want to prove that every non-linear space is a metric space. Metric space is the structure of the form xd, here I will call nd, where d is function from n cross n to r satisfying four properties. First property, distance between any two points is non-negative. Second property, distance between two points is 0 if and only if they coincide. Third property, is distance between x and y is equal to, it is called symmetric property, distance between x and y is equal to distance between y and x. And fourth property is often referred as triangle inequality. Distance between x and z is always less equal to distance between x and y plus distance between y and z. Now we want to prove that every non-linear space is metric space. So it is fairly simple to obtain properties of metric by using corresponding properties of norm. The key point is how to define metric D in terms of norm. So what is the natural metric that gets induced from this norm? It is dxy is equal to norm x minus y. The key point here to note is that distance is defined in terms of norm. So in order to prove that every non-linear space is metric space, what we need to do? We need to prove four properties of metric D using these four properties of norm. So let us prove these properties one by one. I repeat, we have to prove the properties of metric or obtain the properties of metric by corresponding properties of norm. So we'll prove it one by one. First property of metric is distance between any two points is non-negative. So N is non-linear space. N is non-linear space. N is non-linear space. We are defining distance between 2 points x and y as dxy is equal to norm x minus y. First we have to prove that distance between any two points is greater or equal to 0. dxy is equal to norm x minus y and it is greater or equal to 0. Why distance is non-negative? Because norm of any vector, here we are considering the vector x minus y, is non-negative. So it is fairly simple to obtain these properties. Second property which we want to prove is distance between x and y is equal to 0 if and only if x is equal to y. So distance between x and y is 0 implies that norm of x minus y is 0. Recall that we have defined metric dxy as norm of x minus y. Now use the property of norm. When norm of a vector is 0, if and only if vector is 0. So this implies x minus y is equal to 0. This implies x is equal to y. All steps can be reversed back. If x is equal to y, then x minus y is equal to 0. 0 means 0 vector in norm-linear space n. So all steps can be reversed back. If vector is 0, then norm is 0, and if norm of x minus y is 0, then distance between x and y is 0. So we have obtained the property that dxy is equal to 0 if and only if x is equal to y. Third property which we will prove is symmetric. Symmetric means distance between any two points, say x and y, equals to distance between y and x. So dxy equals to norm of x minus y, which we can write as norm of minus 1. Minus 1 is scalar here, y minus x, and this is equal to mod minus 1 norm of y minus x. Can you identify the property which we are using here? We are using the property that norm of alpha x equals to mod alpha norm x. Here x is vector and alpha is scalar. So this property we are using. Alpha is minus 1 and vector is y minus x. And this equals to norm of y minus x, and this is nothing but d of yx. The last property which we want to prove is triangle inequality. So in order to obtain triangle inequality in metric spaces, we will have to use triangle inequality for norm-linear spaces. So dxy is equal to norm x minus y. It is equal to norm, say, x minus z plus z minus y. This is less equal to norm x minus z plus norm z minus y by using triangle inequality for norm-linear spaces. You note that we are using properties of norm to obtain properties of metric D. Here which property we are using? Triangle inequality of norm. Norm of u plus v is less equal to norm of u plus norm of v. And this is equal to dxz plus dzy. So thus we proved all four properties for metric D. We have verified all properties of metric for the function t, and this proves that every norm-linear space is metric space. So norm-linear space has the structure n norm and metric has the structure nd. Using norm, we are defining D as d of xy is equal to norm of x minus y. Thank you.